Next, we move into building analytics. Now, building analytics gives us a relative scale based upon, again, energy use intensity. And the reason this is powerful is because what we're trying to understand from a client-wide perspective is how well is my particular building doing relative to the rest of the portfolio. And as I hover over these here, what you'll see is intensity, so 7 kilowatt hours per square meter. These ones down here are 5 kilowatt hours per square meter. You know, over on the right hand side, that's like 63 kilowatt hours per square meter and 75 kilowatt hours per square meter. So the obvious question is, if we're measuring building by building and how much energy is given off for every square meter, it's a much cleaner way to benchmark sites, because if the buildings are the same, then we should anticipate that bang for buck, that they should be relatively similar. And if they're not, there's a reason why. And so we want to put our focus and attention on these particular buildings. Now, in this case, it's doing every single building, irrespective of whether one's an office, one's a retail, one's a factory, or whatever else. But here is where we can finesse it down to the building type. So if we've got, maybe warehouse general, what this will give us is all of the portfolio buildings that are all of this criteria and type, and again will give us those same pieces of information, so we can again try to figure out which ones we want to focus on in terms of the priorities. We also have the ability with this to look at different benchmarks. So this is a relative scale, so just benchmarking your portfolio. But in this instance, we can go down to something like net zero operational carbon, and we can see, based upon the statistics of how they put together their benchmarking, which ones actually fall within different criteria. So, for example, for a typical office building for net zero operational carbon, they say anything less than 55 kilowatt hours per square meter is considered excellent. Obviously, less than 70 but above 55 is good. Less than 85 but better than 70 is between average, and then beyond that is considered poor, right? And so again, as I mentioned before, it's a different way to look at ways to understand the building characteristics and which ones you want to put your effort and focus on. We have these guides throughout the platform that explain what is it we're looking at, because we appreciate that not every piece of information will be easy to understand, and so we have this guide notes that are kind of littered throughout the platform. Kind of moving away from that, if we now go back into the dashboard, what we're now looking at, if this is the portfolio overview, so looking more around like a statewide,